It is Wednesday, OSD, Obsessive Sneaker Disorder, episode 353 of the Sneaker Talk Show. My name is D. Wells, along with all the Sole Doctors and Disorderlies around the World Wide Web. It is Wednesday, the best damn day of the week. It is officially Wednesday, July 1st, 2015. We got a great show in store for you. Episode 353. That's right. As a lead up to all sorts of good stuff. We've got social studies around the corner. We've got the opening of the Rise of the Sneaker Culture exhibit at the Brooklyn Museum, H-Town Sneaker Summit, and a whole lot more. But let's get to it. Man, we've got some good stuff in store for you. So hopefully you're ready to walk with us, talk with us, and more importantly, let it all hang out with all the sneakers that you're looking for, searching for, high and low, and then some. In the meantime, let's go straight to Dr. Paper Chaser, who's in the building.
What is good?
Well, good, man. Good. Celebrate 20. Can you believe 26 years yesterday of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing? My goodness.
Wow, 26.
26 years already.
And they're bringing the cement fours back, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
And the medicine balls they put out earlier this year are still sitting there on sale.
Are they really?
Yep.
Man.
Well, welcome to episode number 353. I'm not sure which area code that covers here in the good old USFA, but if it represents you, then peace to you.
Real.
Welcome. As D. Wells stated, there's a lot going on in the world of sneakers these days, and we have a lot personally going on that we're involved with. We have, of course, as D. Wells stated, July 10th, which is literally right around the corner. It is 9 days away, is the opening in Brooklyn at the museum of the Rise of Sneaker Culture Sneaker Exhibition. This is a big deal. Please understand what I'm saying. This is a big deal. First time in this portion of North America that we have had a sneaker exhibition with such an official, high-level cultural acceptance of what we do. It originally debuted at the Bata Museum in Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Man.
Shout out to the good folks at Bata, at the American Federation for the Arts. Shout out to Lee and Dion of TLK, Toronto Loves Kicks, to all the good people of Toronto who went and supported that. But now it is here in New York, sneaker capital of the world, in Brooklyn, the gentrification capital of the world at the moment. That's neither here nor there. But we are very excited about this.
Real.
D. Wells, hat tip to you because you've worked really hard with the staff on the curator side of this exhibition, and I know you're excited to finally see it sitting up in one of the places you've called home, finally sitting there on display and to see how
man. It's amazing. It's amazing to think it's right around the corner. Like,
yeah,
really.
Yeah. So again, I'm happy and excited as well. We have a lot planned. OSD has a lot planned for people for the entire duration of the exhibition. So starting on July 10th and stretching all the way through to October 4th is the last day of the exhibition. We will have things scheduled at certain times during the tenure of this exhibition to coincide with this and celebrate this.
So come on, don't give people some insight, Paper, because you've been working. You had tip to me, but more importantly, you've been working on the programming side, which is really important. So the exhibit piece is done. That's like, it's going to happen. But now comes all the fun stuff, which is like, for example, the program, you're programming special things that are going to be taking place. Let people know one of them, or at least a couple.
First one coming up, which I'm really excited about. Brooklyn Museum is really excited about, and female sneaker lovers around the world are very happy about, or you will be once you find out. July 16th, we are doing what is called Soul Sister Revolution. And we are basically conducting a panel which will be moderated by yours truly, but will feature Susan Boyle owner of Rhyme NYC. April Walker, who was a pioneer in fashion, one of the first urban brands out in existence, with Walker Wear, which is celebrating their 25th anniversary this year. One of our esteemed colleagues and a very cool, down-to-earth, smart, very just all-around great person. Sol DeVita will be on the panel. You remember her most recently from the New Balance women's campaign. And rounding out the panel will be of Puma fame, Sophia Chang. So that is going down on July 16th at 7 p.m. at the Brooklyn Museum. That is the first of many exhibition-related events that OSD, Social Studies, Brooklyn Museum, American Federation for the Arts, and everybody's working on. So stay tuned. We'll make sure you guys know all about that as it gets closer. We'll remind you guys to make sure that you come on through. So yeah, as D. Well said, we're real excited for everything that we're doing on both sides of this, and things will continue to develop. I just can't wait till certain things are locked and loaded where we can continue to share them and let you guys know that we're, for the entire tenure of this exhibition, trying to do things to celebrate, the arrival of sneaker culture on this high level of cultural acceptance. It's really a big deal. I don't think people it will hit them now, but it will hit them at some point later on, how big a deal this is and the things that can develop out of this. So with that being said, we have 6 days left for registration for OSD Social Studies. That's right. Clock is ticking. That's 6 days left. We have people so far joined up from D. Wells. Let's listen to this list of countries so far. We have, of course, the United States.
Yep.
We have Toronto, Canada.
Yep.
Shout out to the folks from Toronto who enlisted in group style today. We have Australia, which I hope they're locked and loaded. And we also have, for the first time, as social studies representors, students representing their country, Slovenia.
Amazing.
Slovenia. So shout out to the folks from Slovenia who have signed up. You got
all these people.
Yep, everybody. You got 6 days left. If you're on the fence, if you're waiting for something, some type of push, encouragement, online comments in the feedback section, whatever it is, forget all that. Just ask us. We'll tell you what we're going to teach you. We'll even refer you to some past students who will also give you their opinion of the experience with social studies and how things have been for them in regard to the sneaker business since then. So info at OSD Live if you have any questions. But other than that, make sure you head over to osdlive.com. You hit the blog section, scroll down just a little bit, and you'll see everything you need to know as far as social studies. All right? So,
yes, sir.
Kadoma's in the house.
What's up, Kadoma H-Town in the house?
I'm in the building, y'all. I'm here watching first place Houston Astros take on first place Kansas City Royals.
Wow.
So
nice.
Yeah. Baseball too. Baseball got kicks too. Our all-star ballot second baseman Jose Altuve, he likes to take batting practice in KDs. So you never know, man. You never know who's out there. But man, everybody's doing big things. We got the Brooklyn Museum about to open up. We got Ridiculous out in Paris, France somewhere. We got Jesse doing his thing with photography, and we're about to throw down with H-Town Sneaker Summit in just a little over 3 weeks now. So,
Sir, can't wait for that.
Was hoping to make some announcements tonight, but Well, I'll just let a little bit out there. We'll be giving away some free VIP tickets through all 9 Chic Shoes locations in Houston, Texas. So you will still be able to attend the Sneaker Summit for free as a VIP, courtesy of Chic Shoes. So make sure you're following them on all their social media in relations to that. And then we'll also have Crep Protect in the building doing a free sneaker cleaning all day long. So bring your beaters.
Mm.
Uh, they'll have some of that spray there, the water-resistant spray that only takes minutes to waterproof your shoes.
Yep. Now, personal testimony on Crep Protect.
Mm-hmm.
I've used it and I've tested it.
Oh, I bet you did test it.
It works.
Yes. If Sean says it works, it works. Believe me, because Sean holds nothing back when it comes to tests.
It works.
We're getting
if you do exactly what it says to do. Now that's the thing, which I think is dope that you're going to have them at the summit for that reason, because I think that they'll be able to do, personal instruction right there for their consumers so that they can see how to use it. It's not like using that Foot Locker brand stuff that they put out that they want you to use. Follow the instructions on Crep Protect. It works. Straight up and down. I tested it on a pair of all nubuck Cole Haan Lunar Grand shoes.
Okay, it worked good.
And I wore them purposely on a day that it was set to rain. Purposely. And I kicked around in those shoes all day. It worked.
Nice.
So that's dope, Kadoma. That's dope.
We got a lot of friends to thank for that assist. Crep Protect. They're from overseas and they were over here on the U.S. doing their U.S. tour and looking what it's going to take to grow the brand in the U.S. And we had a few people speak quite highly of us in our event, so they gave us a ring and they wanted to get down. So they'll be out there, and then we're real close to booking a special guest for the event. And the ink is not dry, so I'll just drop a hint right here. But global ambassador of music for certain sneaker brand might be in the building. So, we want to show our audience that if you love sneakers, you want to make a career out of sneakers, you don't necessarily have to do that on eBay or any of these other reselling sites. There's a whole lot of different avenues out there as far as a career path in sneakers. And Sean's bringing up one right now. So
Facts.
True indeed.
So before we get into this, make sure you hit up sneakersummit.com so that you can stay connected through all their social media networks, through the website. And just a reminder, too, speaking of careers and jobs related to sneakers that don't involve reselling or working in retail, sneakersummit.com is also hiring. There's a big message on the right side of the screen when you go to sneakersummit.com that says they are hiring for certain positions. Don't slack. Don't think it's a joke. Don't think it's a banner ad for like another site.
And we've had some people springboard that job into like bigger jobs. So we got Adrian out there at City Gear buying for 130 doors now. We got Christine took Adrian's old spot as the social media manager for Active Athlete, the oldest mom and pop shop in Houston with 3 doors. Man, I'm trying to think, but we put people on over here. We're not trying to use interns and get free work out of people. So, but you have to understand, we're looking for work. We're not looking for people to
just
be
want
down.
To ride.
Yeah, just want to ride off the coattails of somebody else's hard work. So if you want to work, We got work for you, believe me. It looks easy, but it don't come easy. That's for sure.
That's right. Got that right. So let's talk about this. This is the first time in a while, and it has happened this year, that there have been all green next to all 10 stocks that we watch. So,
Yeah, I'm seeing that, man.
first time in a while.
And what do you think that is? Did something trigger that?
Well, we're going to read them off and then we're going to talk a little bit about it and see if some of the things that have been happening in the business lately may have anything to do with it. So I'm going to start it off with Nike, finishing at D Wells 109.37, up $1.35 per share today.
Wow.
$1.35 per share up, D Wells 109.37.
And that's coming off the news of Phil Knight basically, passing along.
Come on, you're giving it up too early.
Yeah, man. Wow.
I didn't hear this.
Giving it up too early.
All right, I'll let you get through the rest of it. I'm sorry. My bad.
Skechers finishes at D Wells
Jeez.
113.53 per share today. Up.
4.
Listen to this, everyone in the sneaker world. Listen. Skechers 113.53 per share. Up. $3.74 per share today.
Man. They're like printing money.
VF Corporation, Vanity Fair Corporation, parent company for Vans, North Face, Timberland, quite a few other brands, finished at 71.57 on the day, up 183 per share today. Under Armour finished at $84.19 per share, up 75 cents per share today. Deckers Outdoor Corporation, parent company of Uggs, Teva, however you say it, either way. Deckers finished at $74.03 per share today, up $2.06 per share today. Foot Locker finished at $67.99. Sounds like a sneaker price. Finished at $67.99, up 98 cents per share today. Adidas AG on the OTC market finished at $39.08 per share, up 62 cents per share. Puma AG on the ETR market,
Wow.
Euro currency rated, finished at 147.45 per share, up 5 euros today. eBay on the NASDAQ finished at $60.42 per share, up 18 cents. And last but certainly not least, also on the NASDAQ, Finish Line Incorporated finished at $28.26 per share, up 44 cents per share. So these are the 10 stocks that we watch and we report to you guys on every Wednesday live on osdlive.com. and on the OSD Talk Show as we broadcast for the disorderlies around the world. You want info on how to invest? We will gladly help you. Hit us with an email at info@osdlive.com, and we'll get back to you with some of the ways that you can just forego a couple of releases or less, and you'll have enough money to get in on this side of the game. So, D. Wells, what's your reaction to this roll of green today?
It's amazing what everyone's been having good quarters, but there's some companies that definitely are standing out. Okay, Nike is still on fire, but the biggest, outside of in the U.S., on the trading in U.S. dollars, the biggest jump has to be definitely Skechers. They're up $3.74 in one day. That is crazy. Skechers has been on fire. Fire. Nike with their big news announcing that Phil Knight is basically going to step down as chairman of the board. and basically he has tapped already Mark Parker, the current president, to become the chairman. So that means the open seat. So people are positive, but they're transferring all of good old Phil Knight's, Daddy Knight's, ownership, to a company called Swoosh LLC, as well as Travis Knight, Phil Knight's son, who's 42 years old, who's an animator who did Paranorman and all these other stop motion. He did the PJs, working with Martin Lawrence and a number of other people in the film industry. He also gets appointed to the board of directors for Nike. So people are excited about this, actually. Um,
Yep.
Now it's just a matter of who they're going to tap to take Parker's, old seat. But we know they're going to keep it in house. They're not going to go outside, because the last time they did that,
Oh,
they
they
got
ran that dude
burned.
out.
They got burned. Perez was not a good fit, but
Ran him out of town.
yeah, man. They put him on a long boat and said bye. Bye, Felicia. I mean, next up, VF Corporation. I mean, all these positives. Under Armour, man, okay, not bad. 75 cents. Deckers, $2.06. That's a big jump for them. I think Deckers is an undervalued stock, but that's only because the outdoor market right now, coming off of this winter, was really hurt. Really hurt. Puma, their bump came from, $5 on the euro is equivalent to $5.53 US dollars. So the euro is not trading that much, not terribly high. But
Yep.
the reason for their bump, though, I have to say, is because they got rid of good old Tree Torn. They got rid of Tree Torn.
They showed they were trying to make a move and shed some
Yeah.
dead weight.
They definitely, and Tree Torn was one of those companies where Tree Torn was known for classic tennis, but let's be honest, it's become, in the past 25 years, it's become more associated with women.
Yeah.
Tree Torn is definitely seen, but it started as a classic tennis men's footwear brand.
Yeah.
So I just hope, I guess my thing on this is, I just hope Authentic Brands Group keeps Tree Torn, alive, and doesn't pimp it out with all these different collabs and all these different designers and just go buck wild. I actually like the classic look of it, and they actually have a tie to Wimbledon, which is actually surprising. A lot of people don't know that, which is actually taking place right now, but you don't see their presence there at all.
Nope. Well, I mean, it's the same situation in various sports that involve direct on foot, shoes that are related directly to the performance, is what I meant to say.
Mm.
The game has changed so much that, shoes like the Stan Smith, Tree Torn, K-Swiss, those brands that were making shoes at that time were representing the pinnacle of footwear performance on the tennis court. The game has evolved so much that, it's no longer the type of shoe that is relevant in that space. So it had to go into a quote-unquote lifestyle mode, because the shoes all still look good. All the shoes we mentioned still look good.
Yeah.
But they're just not relevant in the field of sport where they were created anymore. So what do you have to do, at that point? And all three brands we just mentioned do have product where they're struggling. So,
Yep. But what's positive out of all this? I mean, we see what eBay's doing. eBay is again down. Finish Line, not bad. I think this is actually good for Puma that they got rid of Tree Torn. Now it's just a matter of, are consumers willing to look for other brands besides Nike and Jordan? And the quick answer I say is yes. People are paying more attention to, and we talked about this on last week's episode 352, and previous episodes. People are paying attention to Adidas, Asics, New Balance, Converse.
Yeah, there's been some variation again, which is important. That's really important simply because we're at that point where, all right, we know who's leading the race. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We're bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what? You're doing a perpetual victory lap. So what? It's the other places where the jockeying in position in the last 2 years has shifted from 2 to 5, and Skechers is on top of that. Funny enough, we say it, but the proof is on screen. Skechers is on top of that.
Right.
So I think consumers are starting to realize that for various reasons, we no longer need to be loyal to one brand. We have
Thank goodness.
we have certain demands, certain needs, certain qualifications that say, you know what, other brands are going to be better for this.
True. True indeed. I agree. I can't. I agree with that statement for sure. Now it's just a matter of again, what people are buying right now, what people are going after. With all the stuff going on, like Sneaker Summit coming up later on this month in July. Rise of Sneaker Culture exhibit, SOLEcial Studies, and all these other events that are taking place with more eyeballs turning towards sneakers and the culture. This is the perfect time for a brand besides the big ones that we always talk about or we hear circulated often, for a smaller brand or a classic brand to make a resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. So, what do you think, Kodoma? I mean, with all these numbers, positive on the positive side, do you think people are finally kind of the sleep has been wiped from their eye and they're able to see more clearly beyond Nike and Jordan or even Adidas and Reebok?
That's a good question. I mean, clearly Skechers knows what they're doing. They've had a game plan mapped out, and you see it, unfolding before our eyes. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask. There's a lot of different types of consumer out there, and some consumers are going to have that blind loyalty towards one or two brands, and then other consumers are going to have loyalty to the best product. So I think it just all depends, but definitely I think certain brands are coming with it, whether it be they're making moves right now. All of them are, just like you have on the screen there. Puma sells Tree Torn. That's a move. We got Adidas with Kanye. That was a big move. That's still paying off. What else? Under Armour, Steph Curry, huge. Jordan Spieth, huge. So I think everybody's making moves right now, and they're just little ripples. I mean, we'll see how it pans out in the future, but that's all. That's all I got to say on that.
Okay.
There's gonna be some people that are just diehard fanboys of particular brands, no matter what, and hopefully, people just keep making moves, and it creates more ripples and draws more attention.
So speaking of attention, this caught my attention today, and shout out to Dallas Penn for posting this picture. Here we see various colors of the Yeezys, even down to a red pair that Puffy showed, behind the scenes, backstage at the BET Awards this past weekend.
Are you sure that's the pair he showed?
It looks damn similar. So going from top to bottom, you have a black on black, a color that resembles the color that was just recent release, a red pair, and then a blue pair. But then if you look in the back, you see another red pair, but you also see I would call that a purple.
Yeah.
And Nike Elite socks and all this other stuff.
Isn't that a cosmic boost on top of it? They're faking the takedowns now?
Yeah.
It certainly looks like it.
Yep.
But the thing that jumped out at me was, okay, is this what's happening, right? Is this what's happening? So sneakers we know they're made sometimes 4 to 5 or more months in advance. And these
Easy.
factories are able to make colorways or have to make colorways well in advance and let them sit. Sometimes they're sitting in an inventory. But we know the fakes are getting better.
The brands are getting more inferior with their products, so it's easier to make fakes better.
Exactly. And then coupled with all of that, I mean, at the end of the day, is it basically buyer beware if you're not buying it directly from the retailer or company?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It absolutely is these days.
And I mean, we're talking about, I mean, I would love to actually see one of these pairs that are pictured here, again, that Dallas posted on his Instagram earlier today, but like, are they so good? I mean, some fakes are so good, you have to really be a shoe doctor, a sneaker doctor, to like kind of know what to look for because they're getting better and better. But this makes me wonder, or makes me nervous, because how many people are going to be out there buying these products, and granted, not only buying a fake product, an inferior product, but something that could ultimately do some damage to their feet and ultimately their body.
Yep. Well, here's the issue.
The legit shoe's been doing damage to feet and bodies.
True. You're absolutely correct. But we run the risk even more, I think, when it comes to fakes. So,
well, here's the issue with this particular shoe that makes it so easy to fake. Now, we've already, for years, decades even, seen fake Polo, fake Tommy, fake Nautica, fake Gucci, fake Levi, you name it.
Pele.
Which are all garments, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Garments, right? Sneakers are now being made using the same process as garments. Right?
You're right.
So how much easier is it now to fake a shoe like a fly knit or a prime knit when you already know there's millions of Boost tooling laying around in all these different colors? How easy is it now to bootleg this upper?
Not hard.
It's not. It's easier than clothes.
Not hard at all.
Because you're not even talking about the same amount. This isn't even the same amount of material to make up a T-shirt. So how easy is it going to be to bootleg this?
It's getting easier and easier, and what's going to happen is some, unsuspecting, unknowing person is going to buy these and think they're real.
They're going to think they're real, but here's the problem. And Ridiculous says it all the time. We've said it in multiple ways, shapes, and forms. If real is fake, then what's fake?
Yeah.
Right?
So some people just will buy them and rock them because they want to stunt, they want to look good, all that good stuff.
Right, that's what it's going to be. This is going to be just like the fake Beats by Dre headphones, just like fake Polo, Nautica, Tommy, etc. He's going to be the guy who's going to pay $40 for these out the barbershop right after he got his fade.
Why he had to go to the barbershop and get a fade, though?
Hey,
right? How come he couldn't get a blowout?
I'm just saying.
Why couldn't he just get a shape up? No.
Right? That's universal.
But you don't get a shape up and buy a pair of kicks.
And buy a pair of kicks?
That's not the customer.
Okay.
The guy who goes all out, gets the fade, gets that, what they call it now, the fro hawk.
Yeah, exactly.
Gets multiple parts, and he goes, yo, those kicks over there will complete the set. And he buys these, and he leaves totally complete in his mind. That's the customer for these in the barbershop. Overseas, it's going to be just like the person who goes and buys those fake shades that say Armani, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana. They look real. They look official. They're going to give you that nice case and everything with it. But you ain't get that real shit.
That's a good point. That's the direction sneakers are going in. They're going in where it's acceptable to have the non-authentic things. They're going the way of the Louis Vuitton monogram bag. You could just have them. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. It's all the same.
It's true. Ben's telling the truth. It's starting to be more so than ever totally okay to rock some fake shit.
I'm about to rock fake all next week.
And it's okay because the brands themselves have made product that's so inferior that now it's easy to knock the shit off. And the guy who wears these that you have on screen can stand next to a guy with a real pair on, and they'll look like the Bobsey twins, which we hate that look too.
Yeah, man.
But one won't be able to distinguish from the other unless you just get down to the forensics of the shoe. And at the end of the day, who's doing that out on a street corner?
I'm just waiting for someone to buy a pair of these fake ones and a la K-Dog do a sole swap and throw like a 360 bottom on them. Watch. It's going to happen. I predict it. Somebody will do a sole swap on one of these.
I think they will. It's probably already done. It's probably a customizer probably already did it because there's one who already did something similar to the first Yeezy Boost 350, the high.
Right. Yep.
But again, this stuff is being made like clothes. So now that it's being made like clothes, it lends itself automatically to just being bootleg like here. And what's going to happen, sadly, what's going to happen once this that you have on screen becomes more predominant around the world, it's going to be just like back in the days with bootleg cassettes and CDs. It's going to infiltrate the sales.
Mm-hmm.
Going to hurt the product.
Yo, I'm about to blow up a lot of people's hustles right now.
Do it.
So now there's a thing where what you do is you buy the sneakers, but you buy that comparable fake pair, and then you put that fake pair in the box, and then you return those sneakers, and let the cycle continue.
Oh,
that's an actual.
But that's been going on, Ben. That's been going on since white on white Air Force Ones.
Very true. So I'm gonna add something new to the narrative. So there's an email at one of the bigger the sneaker stores that are in malls. That are dealing with that. That's a real thing now.
Yep.
So they started putting. Yeah. So it's a real thing, and this proves it. Like Sean just said, like it's the hustle. It's what it is. Nothing is safe anymore. There's nothing sacred. Go wear Skechers. That's my opinion.
Nobody's knocking them off yet.
Well, it's because they've knocked everyone else off. I mean,
self-preservation.
No, we know. Like, okay, who's gonna knock off the knockoff? I mean, Skechers knocked off Tom's and made Bob's.
That was hilarious.
You know, I mean, they've knocked off.
Is that a real thing?
Yes, this is right.
Oh, they did. They definitely did. Tom's shoes were knocked off by Skechers, and they call theirs Bob's, with almost a similar kind of campaign to help send shoes and money and ultimately water to developing countries. And I was like, okay, how the hell?
That's who's backing Akon.
Like, how can you even? Yeah, right. Akon. That's where he's getting his money from, selling Bob's shoes. No, let me stop.
They said, wait a minute, you're not the only one that could do good in the world.
Right, exactly. So,
it's tough.
Man, oh man.
So I mean,
oh man,
it's going to be a prevailing problem that existed just like with bootleg cassettes and CDs. Which, yes, I'm dating myself by talking about that problem. Don't give a fuck. It's going to be the same way with sneakers. Pretty soon, sneakers are going to be, you're going to see Yeezys and everybody else's shoes on a table on 125th Street or whatever your state's equivalent and city's equivalent is. You're going to see that on table. So,
yeah,
we told you here first. Remember, other sites can't tell you that. We're telling you that. You're going to see Yeezys on a table next to a bunch of other shit that ain't real. And phone charges.
Phone charges. Wow.
Sometimes not even on a table, like sitting on a blanket on a picnic.
Word up.
Yep, it's going to go down. I mean, this is one of the negative attributes to quote-unquote changing your shoemaking process to use less and go lightweight. So it's going to be
So most
real fun.
factories all become under the same umbrella, and then the same factory is going to be making all the brand sneakers. I want this sneaker thing to burst. This bubble has to stop. We need a reset. It's not. We need a reset.
It's needed a reset for about 5 years now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for that reset to take place because sneakers are so ingrained in in the world now. It's no longer. I mean, it is still a subculture, and it is still there's still a low percentage of sneakerheads, true sneakerheads out there in terms of. But because of the notoriety, because of shows and events, particularly events like Sneaker Summit, magazines, talk shows a la OSD, sneaker exhibits, and just even TV shows. It's changed. People are now paying more attention. Mom and Dad feel better about little Johnny or little Susie being into sneakers than say out running the streets, selling, buying cigarettes, using drugs, or doing some other illegal or illicit type stuff.
They used to go hand in hand.
At some point. Sell drugs, buy sneakers.
Right.
That's how it used to be.
Now kids are developing apps or starting, young entrepreneurs starting their own business, be it a bow tie company or shoelaces or using sneakers to help those less fortunate. Either families, kids, that are homeless or need shoes. We see a lot of different programs. We see all these upstarts like Souls for Souls. There's all sorts of stuff out there. Good stuff, positive stuff.
Yep. That's what needs to get more shine is the positive stuff. Like the guy who's going around New York City giving away thousands of pairs of sneakers to homeless people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's talking about that? People in other cities who are doing the same thing. Who's talking about that? It's not the folks who need, it's not the folks whose existence and coverage is based on click-throughs and ad dollars.
But one of the big things I keep looking at is, okay, you have all the news media, and we're partly to blame because, here we are. OSD has been in existence since 2007. We've been talking about sneakers, promoting the culture, all that good stuff for many years, and then some. But it's true. Now you have big, networks. Let's go back to 2002, 2003, when Bobito Garcia had his show. It's the Shoes on ESPN.
Yeah.
You think of I have heard of other sneaker shows on community access television in some smaller cities or towns. Mm-hmm. But it's become more and more, seen. People see more. People are like, oh yeah, I know someone that's into sneakers, be it my nephew or my son, my daughter, all that kind of stuff like that. So, and it's only going to get more. There's more coverage coming because we know H-Town Sneaker Summit, right? We're talking 5,000 plus people. 5,000 plus people come together because of sneaker culture.
Everything's
it's
bigger.
A party around sneakers.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
And the man who organizes it, Mr. Kodoma himself, is about to pull his hair out. Yes, because the clock is ticking. He's like, holy shit, I can't believe it's around the corner, But it gets bigger every time.
Hey, Kodoma, I got some news for you. I was just randomly searching through the archives of some of the H-Town Sneaker Summit coverage over the years. And you remember the soul-searching piece that myself and Esteban Serrano produced for Fuse TV for you during All-Star.
Yeah.
So that video is currently at over 103,000 views.
Very good. I'm not a big YouTuber or television watcher for that matter, but it sounds good. Sounds like a big number.
Yeah.
So I don't know if those are Bieber numbers or what, but
numbers. Not Bieber numbers, but for one particular show, that was particularly well produced, because of course I had a vested interest in it, making sure that Fuse did it right, and Esteban and the team did a great job. But the view count on that is really solid, and people still watching it. So it just goes to show you, since that was shot, a couple years ago almost, and people search H-Town Sneaker Summit, and that comes up, they're still watching it. So, and I think that one is a good testament to, I guess, the pinnacle of understanding about what that kind of event is about. Because look at the challenges that you had with that particular one.
Yeah, we had some big challenges we overcame.
Yeah, it was it was far away from downtown Houston, where all the All-Star festivities were. It was almost a half an hour away from the downtown Houston area. Yet you had a line that was the New York City equivalent of 10 blocks long.
Yeah, it was a great event. That was definitely a milestone for our event.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Each one has its unique identity. It's not the same event over and over again like a broken record. We strive to make each event unique. So I come away with that. I mean, maybe you have to really be into sneakers to notice those differences. But whether it's a different special guest or a brand showcase, something that's big at the time, be it snapbacks or jogger pants or
jogger pants.
Wow. Whatever. Oh, that was the summit. Everybody was in jogger pants.
Oh man, that's bad.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. So.
It does, but that's totally bad news.
Hey man, you said we're gonna look back years from now and be able to tell. That's what we're gonna be looking at. So.
It's true. It's true. It's totally true. We'll look back and be like, "Yo, what? What
were we thinking?"
Yeah.
Posterity, yo.
So yeah, our sneaker of the night that we're talking about, considering 4th of July weekend is right around the corner, is the Concepts New Balance 575.
Yeah, they're raising the bar with these releases, man. I mean, I'm still feeling the Kennedys. As far as a white New Balance goes, I don't know if they'll ever outdo that. I know a lot of people are feeling this patchwork on here. But just the fact that you have to go to Fireworks, what do you call that, trailer to buy the shoes? I think that's pretty dope. So, they've gone from the trap house to the fireworks stand.
I was just getting ready to say, you know what? I rolled them so hard for that trap house.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, you gotta give them credit. They're thinking outside of the box. They're making releases fun. And that's something that only Packer's been doing, in my opinion, for a long time. So I'm glad somebody else is actually putting a bit more effort into the release, not just the sneaker. So
I definitely agree
with that. I wish we saw more shops get creative with their releases other than a raffle.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And we almost rode them for an entire episode about that trap house release, because they was really just way off on that one. They shouldn't have even went there with that one.
Exactly, but you know what? Just as we can give criticism, we can also give praise.
Exactly. So, and this release is the praise, because the timing's perfect. The theme behind the release is perfect. The shoes look good. It's the right season for the colors, all of that stuff. So they spot on with this one, and I gotta give them their props. I know folks from Concepts, every now and then y'all watch the show. I'm giving y'all ultimate props for this release right here. Trap House,
Came out today. Yeah,
Trap House, gas face.
true.
This, awesome. Give y'all props for this one. So I'm hoping I could land a pair. Hopefully.
Mm.
Well, I mean, there's a ton
Man,
of sneakers that came out or about to come out this weekend. So, I mean, by far though, these 575s, aka the M80,
Hmm.
these stand out. These definitely stand out. The colors, everything like that, the whole theme, it makes sense. Independence Day for certain, Cambridge, but also particularly this one is being released at their, pop-up fireworks stand in New York City.
Now I want to share a story with you guys that this shoe reminded me of,
Mm. What's
and you guys know this shoe gave me a direct association to this story from when I was about 16 or 17 years old. Dwayne Edwards, if you're watching, which I think you are, you're gonna get a kick out of this one. So on 4th of July one year, there was an old lady named Susie. Susie used to sit out with her lawn chair out on East 34th Street in Flatbush, where I used to live, every 4th of July that I can remember. And she would just toss fireworks out in the street from her lawn chair. Susie was like no spring chicken. She was easily in her late 60s, probably
Her
close
name
to
was
70.
Susan. People aren't named that anymore. That just adds age to the story.
So she would sit out there, toss some firecrackers. She never did the Roman candle thing. I don't think she had the strength for that one, but just enough fireworks to like sit in her hand and light it and toss it real quick. And one year she got bold enough to start tossing cherry bombs. She did. She tossed
Okay.
cherry bombs.
Yeah.
So she would be out there, she'd go through her little firecrackers and go through the other stuff that, starts lighting up and spins all over the floor and smokes everywhere. And then she's like, everybody move.
oh, brother.
Everybody move. Now, mine just used to smoke, so she always had matches on her.
Okay.
So she's in the lawn chair, got the matches, lights the cherry bomb,
Ticky ticky boom.
tosses. It didn't go too far.
Oh, jeez.
It popped from about 5 feet away from her chair, knocked her on
Mm.
the ass. That was just about the last days of Susie.
Oh man.
Just about.
But did she get injured or she was okay?
She got injured from the fall because it popped from
Knocked
so
her.
close. It made her jump. And she
Ah.
fell out the lawn chair, fell back, and that was the beginning of the end for her.
Mm.
She was already a small, frail woman, but that was crazy. So these shoes reminded me of that story today when because I saw the lawn chair. I don't know why I saw a lawn chair in them, but I saw the lawn chair. That's what made me think back to that story in East Flatbush about Susie. That's my kick story.
Man. Well, M80s. I mean, I like M80s. You think of fireworks. You think of the 4th of July, Independence Day. Half a stick of dynamite. Well, not half a stick. A quarter of a stick of dynamite. There's a lot of stories that can go with this. So it's fun. Most people when they think of the 4th of July or think of independence, they think of all the sacrifices people have made, and you see a lot of that. That history. Obviously you can't get away from the red, white, and blue. So
Yeah.
I like them. I just wonder if people when they buy a sneaker like this, do they kind of get the whole story? Because there's always the story within the story, and that relates back to the designer, be it if it's Dion or whomever over at Concepts came up with this idea. There's always something that we never know. I hope people eventually can find that out, or that's eventually revealed.
Yep.
Because to think about a sneaker being released now on July 1st or around 4th of July, this was probably worked on well over a year ago, and they've been sitting probably about 3-4 months in in a holding area.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of stories out there. That's the whole thing. I mean, let's be honest. When we look at a pair of sneakers, why even OSD exists is it allows us to tell our sneaker stories. That's what it's about. The sneakers are good, but it's the people who have the stories that make the sneakers really dope. So um, maybe these might be a come up. I don't know.
Nah,
I like New Balance. I like New Balance, but um,
no
again,
come up.
no come up. Let's see. Let's see. As I say, let the games begin.
No come up.
You never know. Never know. So,
Nah.
Kadoma,
Yes.
um, so what's the countdown? What's the official number of days before the sneaker summit at this point?
Tomorrow we're at 23 days.
23 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll have a little special promo for that. We'll be sharing with everyone. We've had my man T Piper doing the countdown promo artwork. So we'll be sharing that. Hotel rates just ended today, but if you call, you may be able to still squeeze in there. Other than that, we'll be selling tickets and tables till the very end. I'm trying to make it the biggest and best event ever, or yet. So that's what we're all about, is growing and building upon what we've already done. We're not trying to repeat the past. We're trying to push the envelope and raise the bar into the future. So
Nice.
understand that the sneaker culture is gonna have its dips and dives, and we just try to stay true to what we believe in and push things forward. It's no fun if you complain all the time.
True.
You gotta stay positive and do what you can to steer things in a positive direction if you don't like the way they're headed. So
Fact.
we got some interesting things planned. So I hope everybody can make it out in 3 weeks, just a little over 3 weeks.
Yep. So we have, again, and a reminder, head over to sneakersummit.com for all the details and everything you need to know about that event that you just keep missing because you keep finding excuses not to go. This isn't the summer. You should probably go. So we got just 6 days left also, as illustrated on screen. 6 days left to register for OSD's SOLEcial Studies. So we've got some sign-ups from some places all over the globe, and we're still looking for more. We're pretty impressed with the amount of women who have signed up so far for SOLEcial Studies. And in 6 more days, we're looking to see how all of our surprises and our broad reach, if you will, are expanded upon. 6 days left. Make sure you hit us up, info@osdlive.com, if you got any questions. Make sure you head over to the website, osdlive.com. In the blog section, there is all the details. What I like to call things you were afraid to ask, but now you have the answers. Head on over to the OSD blog and just scroll down a little bit, and you will find all the answers to those questions you were afraid to ask us. And then you should sign up, because on July 7th, 2015, at 11:59, right before July 8th, registration will probably be closed, because I'm going to actually be up timing it,
You're gonna slam the door?
slamming the door.
Yep. True. Let them
Finished.
know. Done. Sacabo. Fini.
So D Wells, we'll be back next week with episode number 354. It's been a busy week. We got to shout out the New York Times. We got to shout out CNN. We got to shout out Maxim magazine. We have to shout out. Who else do we have to shout out? There's so many publications and people to shout out with all the press and everything that's been coming
Absolutely.
for the rise of sneaker culture at the Brooklyn Museum opening on July 10th. So anyone and everyone concerned who's been supporting that, anyone and everyone concerned who's been supporting social studies, anyone and everyone concerned who's been supporting the H-Town Sneaker Summit, we thank you all. And make sure you stay in contact with us and stay updated through all the social media networks that we are all present on. Or if you just see us on the street, just hit us up. Just yell at us. Yo!
Yo! Ayo! True.
And if you see Ben Berry on the street, show him some respect.
He's like...
No, I'm
All
excited
right.
for the exhibit though. I forget who I was talking to. It was somebody outside of the Rhyme thing last week. About an hour after it closed, I was passing by because I go to things late, and
That's
yeah,
what you do.
yeah, turn to things late, and yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it because it's a whole museum inside of the library. The library is huge. Like Sean, you know the space, and Dia, you've seen the space. So it's like a nice looking thing. Like it'll be really good for presentation. Like a brand used it during All-Star Weekend for an event. So it's a good space. It's gonna be a good time. Go out there. I want to meet girls there. Girls go to that.
Well, that means you need to be there, Ben Berry, on July 16th when I do Soul Sister Revolution at the Brooklyn Museum at 7 p.m.
I'm gonna film. I'll film.
You should be
There you go. There you go. Make it happen.
All right, and we gotta send a special shout out. He just finished his latest life-changing installation of the Pensole Footwear Design Academy. Shout out to Dwayne Edwards. We definitely want to catch up with you and hear how the latest experiences went. Shout out to Chris Dixon, Alan Largen, all of the Pensole alum who support and who we support also. So we're back next week, episode number 354. That's a lot of episodes.
True.
For those who have been inquiring, we will be getting caught up on that audio real soon.
Real soon.
We'll be sending you over to the TuneIn Radio app so that you can head over and listen to our past episodes at your leisure and in their splendor. Very soon, we promise it's coming.
True. So until then, people, y'all be good, you be safe. Tell the people that you love them, and always keep your laces tied tightly, your tongue loose, and walk good. Y'all be safe. We're up, and we're out.